So today we're diving into something a little different. We're not looking at a single cohesive story. Instead, we've got a collection of fragments, little thoughts, poems, observations, all typed out and left behind. So let's see what story they might be telling us.
I mean, just look at the texture here. These aren't just words on a screen, they're actual physical objects. You can almost feel the rough grain of the paper. You can see how the ink has bled into the fibers, and you can trace those torn edges. They feel like little artifacts, right? Echoes of a moment that someone felt was important enough to capture.
And that really gets to the heart of what we're doing here. Our goal isn't to solve some big mystery or find out who wrote these definitively. Instead, we're just going to listen. We're going to see what kinds of stories and ideas start to bubble up when we just sit with these fragments and let them speak. Okay, so first things first, let's just get a feel for the sheer variety we're dealing with. Think of it like dumping all the puzzle pieces out on the table before we even start trying to find the corners.
And wow, what a range it is. On the one hand, you've got this incredibly tender, almost mantra-like piece, only love made and more, another word, thus only love. It's so personal. And then right next to it, you have this sharp academic-sounding critique about the dominant ideology of cultural production. I mean, they feel like they're from totally different universes, right? But here they are, in the same collection. And some of these pieces, they're not simple sound bites. They are dense. They're packed with ideas, run-on sentences, kind of a stream of consciousness vibe. They really make you slow down and just engage with the train of thought that's happening right there on the page. And right in the middle of all that dense text we just saw, you find this line, "I write my own, though whist till this hour." It just stands out. It feels like this quiet little declaration of independence, this insistence on having a personal voice. And that's a theme that really seems to pop up again and again here. Okay, so if we start to group together some of the more personal pieces, something really interesting happens. It's like a map of the human heart starts to take shape, charting all this emotional territory that we can all probably relate to. So we're back to this piece on love. Only love, made and more, another word for worthy of a holiday that happens once in a year and lifetime. I mean, what a beautiful thought, right? This idea of connecting love to something so rare and special that it's like a holiday that only happens once. But then you get the other side of the coin. The language here is way more visceral, way more intense. The blood of lovers breathe the heart, a safe passenger. This speaks to something deeper, almost biological, and that vulnerability that comes with really trusting someone with your heart, making sure it's a safe passenger. And this one, this phrase, patrons of heart, is just so intriguing. What does that mean? Are they people who support our hearts? Or are we supposed to be the patrons of other people's hearts? It's just this quiet little meditation on the give and take in our emotional lives. So we've looked at the internal world, right? The landscape of the heart. But these fragments also paint these really vivid pictures of the external world. They're like scattered postcards from different cities, each one capturing a very specific vibe. First up, Los Angeles. And look at this thing. It's long, it's tilted, it's chaotic. It's talking about residents from the business class and this feeling of being too much and not enough. It's like the very shape of the text on the page is trying to tell you what the city feels like, sprawling and a little overwhelming. All right, next stop, Miami. This one is totally different. It's short, it's witty. The visitors to Miami were actually locals. They had costumes and spaces. Such a clever little observation, isn't it? It's all about performance and identity in a city that's famous for its flashy exterior. And to round it out, we've got a postcard from Richmond that's, well, it's a lot more cynical. Poetry in Richmond is pollution. The world ends not with free verse, but with rhyme scheme. Wow, that definitely lands with a punch. A pretty sharp critique of a local art scene. So we've got these deeply personal feelings, we've got these very public places, but a lot of these fragments are also about the act of creating itself. They're almost talking about themselves, reflecting on what it even means to make art. Okay, now this might just be a major clue. Tucked away in one of these pieces is the phrase concrete poetry. Now, could be a typo, could be intentional, but it really points us toward a specific type of art, concrete poetry.
So, what exactly is concrete poetry? Well, put simply, it's poetry where the way the words look on the page is just as important as the words themselves. The shape, the spacing, the visual design, it's all part of the meaning. And suddenly, that framework helps everything kind of click into place, doesn't it? Like that chaotic, tilted text about LA, the shape is part of the story.
And this really gets to the human cost, the human side of that whole creative process. Look at this list: art victim, art warriors, art refugees, art criminals, art survivors, art sacrifices. It really suggests that being an artist isn't just one simple thing. It's a whole series of struggles and roles you have to play to survive.
So, as we start to pull all these threads together, you start to wonder, maybe the real meaning isn't just in what's written down. Maybe it's in what we feel, in the spaces between the words, in the empty parts of the page.
So when you take a step back, you can really see these big ideas popping up again and again. You have this constant search for connection, these really rich descriptions of city life, that classic push and pull between love and loss, and this deep dive into what it means to create art in the first place.
I want to end with this one fragment. The pearl water and orange, beauty is unspoken, and so we now wait with the menus. It's just this beautifully strange and evocative little scene. It doesn't give you any answers. It just presents a moment, a feeling of quiet waiting and unspoken beauty. It leaves it all up to you.
And you know, maybe that's the whole point. These fragments are, by their very nature, incomplete. But maybe that's where their real power is. They invite us to participate, to fill in the blanks ourselves. So I'll leave you with this. If the gaps tell their own story, what do you hear in the silence?